Hello students and welcome to the lecture. So students, as we know that we have started the examples and solutions until now we have finished the medieval history. Okay. So in this lecture, basically we are going to start with the modern history. Okay. The pattern will be the same. 15th questions we will cover in this lecture. 15th questions we will cover in the next lecture. And the same two things will happen with us. Either we will revise the new things or we'll be either we will learn the new things or we'll be revising the previous things. Okay. And our time period for 40 seconds, 30 seconds, 20 seconds and 50 seconds will be remain as it is. Okay. So let's start. The first question we have, Battle of Plassey was fought in the year of 1757, 1761, 1857, 1947. 30 seconds I am giving you to answer this question and your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. The time's up and the correct answer is 1757. Now, what is the history behind the Battle of Plassey? It's a main concern. Okay. So basically there was a Nawab whose name was Sirajuddaulah and he was the Nawab of Bengal. Okay. And he did two main things to the British. First thing, he seized the English factory at Qasim Bazaar. Second thing he did, he put taxes on British goods passing through Bengal. Okay. So these are the two main things did by him. Okay. And as an outcome of this, British supported Mir Jafar and fought a Battle of Plassey with Sirajuddaulah. And after this, Mir Jafar declared as a new Nawab of Bengal. Okay, but again, Mir Jafar did not comply with Britishers and eventually he was replaced with Mir Qasim. Okay, but after some time, again the same thing will happen. Mir Qasim did not find himself fit within the British atmosphere. Okay, but he know direct war against British will eventually declare him dead. Okay, so that's why Mir Qasim formed alliance with Shauja-ud-Daula plus Ahlam Shah II. Okay, in this remember, Shauja-ud-Daula is different from the Sirajuddaulah. Shauja-ud-Daula is basically the Nawab of Awadh. Okay, and Shauja-ud-Daula is basically the Nawab of Bengal. Alam Shah was basically the Mughal emperor. Okay, and Mir Qasim is the Bengal Nawab after Sirajuddaulah and Mir Jafar. Okay, so Mir Qasim, Shauja-ud-Daula and Alam Shah II all together raised a Battle of Buxar in 1764 against the British, but eventually they lose this battle. Okay, and this established British rule in Bengal. Okay, so this is the little bit history we must know about behind the Battle of Plassey. Alright, now let's move forward. Second question we have, Regulating Act of 1773 was introduced during the reigns of which British monarch? Queen Victoria, King George III, King George II, King George IV. 30 seconds I am providing you to answer this question and your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. The time's up. The correct answer is B. King George III. So basically, if we talk about Regulating Act of 1773, then it was passed by the British Parliament. Okay, but it was recommended by Lord North, who was British Prime Minister. Okay, so basically after Battle of Buxar, in the year of 1674, when the British occupied the Bengal, okay, then they need a political structure to rule the Bengal, okay, and that's why they found a Regulating Act of 1773, which laid down the foundation for the office of Governor General of Bengal. Okay, basically, the Governor General is responsible to run a government on behalf of the British Parliament, and the first Governor General was Lord Warren Hastings. Okay, so this is the story behind the Regulating Act of 1773. Okay, now I hope you have got the idea. Let's move forward. Third question we have, Governor General who is known for the introduction of doctrine of lapse. Now about this I had told you in the previous lecture, so I think it is very relevant and easy question to answer. 30 seconds is more than enough time I am providing you to answer this question. Your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. The time's up. The correct answer is Lord Dalhousie. So Lord Dalhousie was basically the Governor General during whose time doctrine of lapse concluded. And what was concept of doctrine of lapse? So basically it said that in case of no natural heir to the throne, the kingdom will eventually fall to the British. So that was the concept. Like if the ruler does not have any natural heir or the heir is adopted from somewhere. So in this case, he will not declare as a new king. Okay. And the entire kingdom will be fall off to the Britishers. That's how the Britishers occupied Satara, Sambalpur and Jaitapur, Jhansi, Nagpur, Awadh. Okay, these are some main kingdoms which got occupied by the Britishers under the doctrine of lapse, which was introduced under Lord Dalhousie. Okay, now what are the other works done under Lord Dalhousie? So basically, you can say first engineering college was opened at Roorkee. Okay, thereafter railway lines. Okay, thereafter telecommunications. Okay, these are some main factors done by Lord Dalhousie. Okay, now let's move forward. Fourth question we have, Indian Rebellion of 1857 was primarily sparked by the issue of high land revenue, introduction of English education, use of Indian soldiers, cartridges greased with animal fat, the partition of Bengal. 40 seconds I'm granting you. Your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. The correct answer is C. The use of Indian soldiers' cartridges greased with animal fat. Actually, it was said that the new Enfield rifles which was introduced during the year of 1857, basically it was says its cartridges is greased with fat of cow and pig. Okay, which is against the religion of Hindus and the Muslims. Okay, so the Indian soldiers revolted against it, and then finally Indian rebellion was started after joining by some kings, local leaders and farmers, and you can say the ex-soldiers. All of them started joining this rebellion, and that's how the Indian Rebellion of 1857 started. Okay, so this is the little bit story I have provided you. Okay, now let's move forward. Fifth question we have, Indian National Congress, INC in short, was founded in the year of 1857, 1885, 1905, 1947. 30 seconds you have to answer. Your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. The time's up, and the correct answer is 1885. So basically, if we talk about the Indian National Congress, then it was basically established with the aim of political platform to talk with the government. Okay, so basically the Indian National Congress was established with this aim, okay, to provide a political platform. That's why in the year of 1885, A.O. Hume who was ex civil servant of British. Okay, and W.C. Banerjee. They both came together to found a INC at Gokuldas Tejpal Sanskrit College, which location was at Bombay. Okay, so INC was founded in the year of 1855 to provide a political platform to talk with the government. Founding members were A.O. Hume, who was an ex-civil servant of British, W.C. Banerjee, and the location was Gokuldas Tejpal Sanskrit College, Bombay, where the INC was found. Okay, now let's move forward. Sixth question we have. The Indian Muslim League was formed in the year of 1857, 1885, 1906, 1947. 30 seconds you have to answer and your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. The time's up. The correct answer is 1906. Okay, so if we talk about the Indian Muslim League, then basically it was formed to put forward the interest of the Muslim community. Alright, and basically if we talk about the foundation of the Muslim League, then basically it was founded as Muslim Political Party in the year of 1901. Okay, but what happened? It was a year of 1906 at Dhaka, which is the capital of Bangladesh today. Okay, Nawab Salimullah Khan. Okay, Nawab Salimullah Khan organized the Muslim Political Party as All India Muslim League. Okay, and it was a year of 1930 when Muhammad Ali Jinnah joined the Muslim League. Okay, so this is the history of the foundation of the Muslim League. Okay, now let's move forward. Seventh question we have. The leader of Khilafat movement in India was Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Maulana Azad. 20 seconds time period I am granting you to answer this question. Your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th. The time's up. The correct answer is Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, but there is little bit modification required. He was basically the leader of non-cooperation movement. Okay, which was basically started after the Khilafat movement in the year of 1919. And the non-cooperation was started in the year of 1920. If we talk about the concept, then it was started after arrest of Turkish ruler after World War I. Okay, So British basically arrested the Turkish leader, who was then the leader of the Muslim world. So that's why Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali, these two brothers started the Khilafat movement in the year of 1919, and Gandhi ji started non-cooperation movement in the year of 1970. Okay, so that's why I'm saying there is a little bit modification required. Mahatma Gandhi was a leader of non-cooperation movement, not the Khilafat movement, because Khilafat movement was started by Muhammad Ali and the Shaukat Ali. Okay, now let's move forward. Eighth question we have: Simon Commission, which was boycotted by Indians, was appointed in the year 1970, 1928, 1931, 1942. 30 seconds you have to answer. Your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So, time's up and the correct answer is 1928. Basically, if we talk about Simon Commission, then this was formulated to check out problems of Indians and upgradation required. Okay, so that was the main aim behind the Simon Commission, which was sent to the India. But the controversy is all of the 7 members were white. Okay, total members of the Simon Commissions were 7 and all of them were white. Okay, no Indian was included, and that's why the Indians were boycotting or protesting against it and saying that because you do not have any Indian with you, so you are not able to understand what Indians demand. Okay, now here is one thing which I would like to make clear for you. Here 1928 is written down. Many places you will see 1927. Okay, so both the dates are correct. 1927 was the year when the Simon Commission was proposed. Okay, 1928 was the year when it was sent to the India. Okay, so both the dates are correct. Okay, now let's move forward. Ninth question we have: Dandi March, led by the Mahatma Gandhi, was a protest against Jallianwala Bagh massacre, partition of Bengal, salt tax imposed by the British, Rowlatt Act. 30 seconds I am providing you to answer this question. Your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. The time's up. The correct answer is C. The salt tax imposed by the British. So what happened? It was the year of 1930. Okay, when the British imposed the salt tax, which prohibited manufacturing of salt. Okay, peoples are only allowed to buy salt from British manufacturers. So these are the main provisions against the salt tax. First, manufacturing of salt was prohibited. No one could manufacture the salt. Second, If you want to consume the salt, you have to buy it, and buy it only from the British manufacturers. Okay, so that's why Gandhiji was against it. He said that the salt is a very common element of the household and no one could impose a restrictions over its use. Okay, so that's why he organized a Dandi March, and thereafter he was arrested and sent to jail because he breached the salt law. Okay, now 10th question, and it is the main reason why the salt tax imposed, and I will tell you about it. Okay, but first of all, you are required to answer the question. The question is, Indian National Congress declared the goal of Purna Samraj or complete independence in which session? Lahore session 1929, Surat session 1907, Karachi session 1931, Lucknow session 1916. 30 seconds you have a time to answer. Your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. The time's up. The correct answer is Lahore session 1929 at the bank of Ravi River. Okay, so at the bank of Ravi River, the Congress declared the Swaraj or the complete independence on Lahore session 1929. Okay, all the leaders who were involved in it were arrested, and in response of this, salt law was imposed. So both of these, Dandi March and the Purna Samraj, is somehow connected. Okay, and also I have provided you the hint. Okay, now let's move forward. 11th question we have, August offer was a response by the British government to the demands of Indian National Congress and was announced in the year of 1939, 1940, 1941, 1942. 20 seconds is the time period to answer this question. Your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th. The time's up. The correct answer is 1940. So August offer, which was made by Lord Linlithgow, okay, during the World War II. Okay, and this offer comprised of Constituent Assembly, Dominant Status, and protection of minority rights. Okay, just correct it. It was basically expansion of Viceroy Council. Okay, so these are the three main provisions of August offer, but this offer was rejected. All right, now let's move forward. 12th question we have, Kris mission sent by the British government to India took place in the year of 1940, 42, 45, 47. Again 20 seconds time you have to answer. Your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20. The time's up. And the correct answer is 1942. Cripps mission was come under Sir Stafford Cripps. Okay. And this was sent India in the year of 1942. And again, it was rejected. Okay. And against it, Gandhiji gave a very famous statement, which is often asked in the exam, like post dated check in a crumbling bank. Okay. So remember, this statement was given by Mr. Mahatma Gandhiji against the Cripps mission. Okay. Now, let's move forward. 13th question we have. Famous Quit India movement was launched in response to failure of the Cripps mission, announced of the August offer, failure of the cabinet mission, outbreak of World War II. 15 seconds I am giving you to answer this question. Your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Time's up. The correct answer is this. Quit India movement was launched in the year of 1942 when the Cripps mission was failed and the Indians felt that Britishers are not willing to address the Indian issues. So that's why they started Quit India movement, and the famous motto of do or die was given during this time. Okay. Now let's move forward. 14th question we have. Indian Independence Act, which led to the partition of India and the creation of Pakistan, was passed in the year of, very easy question. 15 seconds is more than enough time to answer. Your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th. The time's up. The correct answer is 1947. It was a year of 1947 when India and Pakistan got their independence from the British India, and the same act was passed in the 1947. Okay. And the last question for this lecture we have. First Governor General of Independent India was Lord Mountbatten, Jawaharlal Nehru, C. Rajagopalachari, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. 15 seconds again I am providing you to give the answer. And your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. The time's up. The correct answer is Lord Mountbatten. Now many people confuse between C. Rajagopalachari and Lord Mountbatten. Then let me tell you. Lord Mountbatten was the first Governor General of Independent India. C. Rajagopalachari was basically the first Indian Governor General of India. So this is the slight difference. Okay. So students, in this lecture, we had covered the 15th questions of the modern history. Okay. We will revise the previous facts and we have learned some new facts. In the next lecture, we will continue with the modern history part. Till then, just revise all the facts and figures we have discussed in this lecture and be ready for the next lecture. With this end, let's end this lecture and thank you.